Welcome back to News.PH. I'm Pio Ontiveros. Joining us now is MYRNA YAO. She's the president and CEO of Richwell Trading Corporation, or no, I should say Rich Prime Global Incorporated. Ms. Yao is also the former chair of the Philippine Commission on Women.
Correct.
And of course, still with us now are Percy Sandania and Ding Dong Dante as commissioners of the National Youth Commission. Ma'am, thank you very much for joining us. You know, we don't just have shoes on display, we have the Barbie dolls on display because you distribute them through your company. But these are a different kind of Barbie dolls, no? Because you're trying to send out a message about women, about Filipino women.
Right.
Yeah. Can you tell us about that?
Well, because in the 80s and in the 90s, whenever I travel, they always, you know, the immigration will always ask for your credit card or your, you know, the card, whatever who you are, right? And then one day in Australia, they even announced that all Filipinos should go into one room. So I felt so bad, and I said, why is it that they treat Filipinos like this? So I started thinking, how can I help the country and the image of the Filipinas especially? And so I thought of using, you know, promoting the Philippine culture through Barbie. So the first thing that I did is talk about the historical past of the Philippines, that we have also the Spanish culture and different culture, and show them the clothes and the dress, and it actually became one of the best collector doll in the world because of its intricate what do you call this, the beads, beads and the design, and also we even put paintings on the clothes, so it made it very different. And in that case, then it became, you know, one of the best collector doll. And in that case, it was also put in the Museum of Barbie, Miami.
Of course, ma'am, it was more than the design, no? It was like the whole idea was to show that beautiful women are not just Caucasian and not just, kumbaga, perfect, parang ganon. Perfect in the sense of perfect vital statistics, etc. Is that what the...
Yes. And the most important thing is that we have to learn the culture of the country, and also where we came from, so that as you can see right now, we have so many beautiful women in the Philippines that became Miss Universe and Miss World, and it's because we have a very good culture from the beginning.
Ma'am, as former chair of the Philippine Commission on Women, what did you think of this event that the National Youth Commission did, In Her Shoes? The whole idea, of course, is to make men wear women's heels and put them in women's shoes, literally.
Actually, I'm very grateful for this man because they now support women. It just shows that everything now is like equal in such a way that their support is really appreciated in many ways. And not only that, even in the commission when I was the chair, we were already involving men because we said that if we fight for equal gender equality and we don't involve men, then the men probably won't understand. So it's the right time that we make them understand.
Are we really not there yet in terms of gender equality?
I think the Philippines is better than other countries, but we're not yet there because the glass ceiling is still there. The men are still in the top position, while the women are still probably in the middle management, most of them.
Okay. How many women CEOs are there in the Philippines right now compared to the men? Do you have like data or a rough estimate?
Right now, we don't have the data, but if we look at the Congress and the Senate, the women is only about 30% or even below.
But in business,
in business the
positions?
data is not there actually. We're trying to get it, but we don't have it up to now.
Yeah, are we saying that businesses would be better run if women were in charge, or no? It's not about.
We had a study actually. A university had a study that in the 21st century, the women will be a better manager because they use the right brain and multitasking. It would be very complex actually in this world, and women will beat the man. So some men now are trying to study on how to use the right brain. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So beware.
Maybe that's what you should do now. Okay. As a woman entrepreneur, ma'am, when you were going up the ladder, of course it took quite a number of years, no? How easy was it, or how difficult was it? And what kind of experiences did you have to go through?
Actually, there are pros and cons because I started very early. So I was among the men because like I started in commodity trading and in tires, which are all run by men. But it was an advantage for me because even they look down on women, they don't know that I can move better than if not, because I'm not threat.
Yeah.
So I'm able.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm able.
Parang akala nila, babae lang yan.
Yes.
Parang ganon. Okay.
So what happened is that most of them are really supporting and helping me here and there. So I'm getting all the information, everything, and then I became better.
Yeah. What do you mean by supporting and helping you?
Teaching me.
They were parang mentoring you?
Oo, mentoring me. How's the market?
Oo. Instead, para yung against yung kalaban nila na lalaki. Because ang tingin nila sa'yo, hindi ka threat.
Oo. So they give me all the information. Compare both men, they won't give the information to another man. But to me, everybody is giving me and supporting me. So our company, I was able to put up to the top 300 when I was 22 years old.
Wow, okay. You said pros and cons, and then you said there were some men who would look down on you, like, of course, without naming names, no? I mean, what were those experiences?
Well, like when I started in tires, they would say, ano magagawa ng babae, recession ngayon. Kaming mga lalaki, hirap na, pero papasok bang isang babae, ano magagawa niya? And then I proved to them in 2 years I became the biggest distributor of Goodyear. And that started everything. Yeah. Then they stopped. They tried to control my delivery, so I had to look for another business.
Really? Like what do you mean? Like how did they try to control your delivery?
My growth is too fast that they feel like I might be a threat to the company, that I might control the production. So they try to control my deliveries, and normally they should feel good, right?
Yeah.
But it didn't happen. So I said, this is the pico bar business. So I started looking for another business. And because I love children, I said, I'm going
toys.
To toys.
But how did they try to control your delivery? Like what did they do?
Parang when I order from them, they won't deliver.
Talaga. I see. Okay. I'm reminded of this. Well, I don't know what it is, a joke, a little story, people would say on social media, parang, what if the 3 wise men were women? So I wanted to ask each of you to answer that question. Let's begin with you, Ding Dong. What if the 3 wise men were women?
Well, definitely, mag-iiba yung petsa ng Christmas siguro natin. That's why.
Bakit naman?
Hindi nila matidiscover yung star eh. Baka they might discover it probably in a different place.
Talaga?
Well,
okay.
Well, thinking
I know it's a
about
surprise.
it.
I can come back to you if you want. Kasi you have to be careful how you answer. Sige, pag-isip. Percy.
Balikan ko yan.
Yeah.
I actually agree. Pwede mag-iba yung date ng Christmas. Because I can imagine that women will be more efficient in finding in getting direction. Kasi medyo baka mas mabilis silang makakarating sa baby Jesus.
By mga weeks or months? And ma'am?
For me, I think it would be more exciting because women are more creative. So I can feel like the stars probably will, will be more brighter, colorful, and the situation probably will be more joyous. Rather than just be in the, walking down there and giving the air and everything. It might be sometimes flowers or whatever that will add up to the flavor and the the beauty of and serenity of the place.
And maybe the three wise women would have cleaned the stable.
And brought better gifts.
Brought better gifts.
Ganun ba yun? So parang pwedeng sabihin na madadagdagan din ng 3 chapters ng Bible because these 3 wise women will be the 3 women who will also watch over the development of Jesus Christ as he progresses, as he grows.
Oh, exactly. As you said so, Commissioner Dantes. We'll have to take a short break. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching News.PH. We're talking about In Her Shoes. With us tonight, Percy Sandanya and Ding Dong Dantes, commissioners of the National Youth Commission, and MYRNA YAO, former chair of the Philippine Commission on Women. Equal rights, equal opportunities, and empowerment for women. Are we a long way from this, ma'am? Malayo pa ba ito?
Hindi na. It's not like before when we started. I think here, with the circle of internet, you know, we are now in a different level, in the different world, that all information are more accessible than before. So, for me, the most important thing right now is how to reach the poor women in the provinces, because they are not aware of the information in the internet yet. So actually the project that I envision, and it's being probably the APEC theme, is the Great Women Project that I started during my term. And it's growing very fast and it's moving, and it's actually between the government, the NGO, the private sector, and of course the poor women or the indigent women. We have to help each other, because if we don't, then these less privileged women will be always there. So it's time that they have to be uplifted and empowered.
Percy, that is an issue also, no, for women and Ding Dong, women empowerment. The women in classes DE don't have the same access, don't have the same opportunities, right?
Some would even say that, you know, poverty has a woman's face. Kasi kadalasan, di ba, pag mahirap ang pamilya, yung nagbe-bear ng brunt ng kahirapan, yung babae.
Yung nanay.
Oo, nanay. Kaya napakahalaga talaga of providing opportunities for women. Because when you provide opportunities for women, you're in fact also providing opportunities for the family. You were asking about malayo pa ba tayo?
Oo, yes,
Oo. Tingin ko, medyo malayo pa, but we're getting there. Merong mga positive steps towards that direction. Halimbawa, reproductive health law. Napakalaking tulong yan para sa kababaihan. Kasi kung ikaw ay isang babae, marami ka ng anak, tapos gusto mo pang magtrabaho, tapos nabubuntis ka kasi hindi mo mapigilan yung asawa mo, may certain level of empowerment in terms of control over the body yung babae because of legislation like the reproductive health law.
Okay. Ding Dong, are we a long way off? Is this an impossible dream? Itong equal rights, equal opportunities, empowerment?
Siyempre, I don't want to say that it's impossible, but it's good that there are efforts para matugon natin itong problema ito. And hindi natin magagawa ang lahat ng ito if, we may have all the great plans and great programs, but without proper information dissemination and proper awareness, maaaring hindi talaga mag-trickle down ang awareness ito, especially to the grassroots level, which nabanggit nga kanina sa one of the most important things.
Okay. You know, this In Her Shoes campaign, of course, well, lahat naman ng kampanya, maraming criticism, maraming batikos, no? Like, there was some criticism that this is just a gimmick, no? So which one of you, Percy or Ding Dong, wants to answer this?
There's one reference to it being a cheap gimmick, that it does not do anything to the plight of women in the country. Siguro dapat ma-appreciate that this is a symbol of solidarity. Yes, they will wear heels for one day, but hopefully after that day, they'll wear women's shoes every day, meaning symbolically that they'll think of the conditions of women in the country. Kasi with that symbolic act, we try to encourage empathy among men dun sa kondisyon ng mga kababaihan ngayon. And sa panahon natin ngayon, we have to be very creative in sending the message across. And this is one creative form, and I hope they appreciate it as that.
Yeah, creative, that's the word. Ding Dong.
I agree with Percy, and the question also is, what happens after? Once we presented the idea and the advocacy, of course, ang mahalaga is ano ba yung follow-up after that. That's why behind the campaign is real work, ika nga, and especially under Compercy and his committee. There are really concrete moves to address these issues.
Okay, we're going to end the show, and I'm going to ask you for your final words, all three of you, my guests tonight. But before that, you know, I really can't end the show, Ding Dong, without asking you this. No, are you thinking about running for office in 2016? Because you are already the National Youth Commissioner. So some people like to put two and two together. Oh, because you're in an appointed position, baka may balak sa'yo or baka may balak kayo mismo, ikaw mismo.
Well, pagmula naman noon talaga, I was already active in public service. Because I also think that me being in the entertainment industry is also public service in a way. And
Because you bring attention to issues like this.
yes, and also we bring entertainment, and kahit papaano merong impact din yan sa mga manonood, sa viewers namin. And para sa akin, syempre, habang mas tumatagal, mas nag-i-increase din yung seriousness, yung gravity, at yung willingness ng involvement ko. So, me being here is a blessing, and right now, I don't really consider those things, especially going into an elective post, because there are so many things to do, especially sa National Youth Commission. I also run an NGO, plus of course, I have my acting job, and most importantly,
Yes.
I have a new family to run, to build,
Yeah.
and para sa akin yun ang pinakamahalagang bagay.
Okay, the NGO is?
The Yes Pinoy Foundation.
Yes Pinoy Foundation. Okay. Now, final words. Myrna, ma'am, Myrna Yao.
Well, I think the life will be more difficult now because of ASEAN integration, globalization, and all these things. And if we don't help each other, especially men and women, the indigent women will have a harder time. So the word that I can say for the Women's Month is it is the time that we have to hold hands together and help the poor instead of just thinking of ourselves.
Thank you, ma'am. Percy.
On Women's Day, I tweeted that, you know, equality is not a grown-up wish for Women's Day. It's actually a requirement, or, you know, for a more humane society. And also, what we often forget is that sometimes equality should begin even in intimate relationships. Boyfriend,
Respect.
girlfriend,
Respect, diba?
mag-asawa, sa pamilya. And kasi if young people now will grow up a bit more gender sensitive than before, then we're off to a good start.
Okay, thank you, Percy. Ding Dong.
I agree with Percy, and ma'am, it has to really be personal. It has to start from there, because if we truly want progress, and inclusive progress for that matter, about in addressing issues such as women, gender inequality, and the likes, it has to be a collaborative effort, collective effort, and it also involves men. That's why, literally, I am proud to be part of these men who are willing to be in her shoes and
Yes.
to actually walk the extra mile. And it may, you know, not just be a mile, it may be more than thousands of miles. And I have a new wife. And, not to say that I had an old wife, but, I mean, I'm willing to do everything to understand her more and to make our relationship flourish. So these are just minor steps, and the real work is yet to be done.
Thank you very much to all of you tonight. Myrna Tao, Yang Tao, thank you very much, ma'am, for being here. And Percy, Sandanya, thank you. Ding Dong Dantes, thank you very much for being here. And thank you to our guests, of course, and thank you for watching News.PH. See you again next Wednesday. I'm Pio Ontiveros. Good night.